Okay, we've had a little setback, but nothing I can't handle. What I need to do right now, the next step, is to get the CO2 from this tank to this fitting on the gun. It goes through this regulator that has the on-off switch, and then it goes through this hose, and this connects to the bottom of the gun. Now this fitting here is a 1/8 pipe, which is no big deal. That's a standard 27 thread per inch. I'm the one that tapped the hole there, so I know what it is, and that's no big deal. The problem is that these fittings here and into the regulator are proprietary to Spider. In other words, they're an oddball size, and nobody really makes or stocks it. I don't know if they did that on purpose to keep people from interchanging or what, but now my problem is that I have to get from here to here, okay? And like I said, it was a minor setback and we can get around it. I managed to booger up this hose along the way, but I got a new one of these on the way. It was no big deal. Delivered, it'll only be $9. So as soon as the replacement hose gets here, what we're going to do is we're going to screw it in here. We're going to screw their fitting into the hose, like so, and then I'm not sure if I'll have to reposition the paintball tank or what, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go from the 1/8 pipe to the 1/8 pipe, and I'll get something in there. The main problem is that this hose is so inflexible. If I were to use this hose, there's no way I'd be able to get traverse. It just won't move back and forth easily enough. So I might have to move the paintball. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. You know we will. I might put the paintball tank here and put the hose like this and then come off the 1/8 pipe here with a long hose to the gun. The good news is that I met some pretty cool guys at Federal Fluid Power, and they make hoses, and they made me this hose, and it was like 14 bucks, but it's not going to work because the fittings I can't match the fittings. They made the hose. They told me to go over to this other place and I'd be able to get fittings from them, but that's where I found out that it's an oddball, and so there's nothing I can really do. So we kind of wasted the 14 bucks on that. The good news is that the guys at the second place, they gave me a couple fittings to check out and to try, so I know what we've got on here, and if I get it, they have fittings like this that fit this hose that just go to a 1/8 pipe. So I just need a female 1/8 pipe at one end and a male at the other, and I'll be all set. And also the guys at Federal Fluid Power told me that they have another type of hose that is much more flexible, but it'd take about a week to get it made because they have to do it out of their Mount Pleasant office, which is, I don't know, about an hour from here. But anyway, like I said, minor setback. We'll get it figured out. The best news is that the paintball is, you know, all in. I figured out that I'm going to have to move this servo back to the end of the gun so that it'll clear the motor, extend the length of the rod, and then I can put all this stuff in place. Now I looked at Jeff's suggestion that I could lay this down flat, but I kind of need the height there to get the servo arm underneath. I don't want to go on the other side with the servo arm because that just would drop too far down into the tank. If I can keep it up here like this, that'll be good. And when I flip it upside down, it shouldn't be a real problem. The gun is going to end up being balanced quite nicely, as you will see in the next video, where we will have some good news. Okay, now is that something cool or what? That's a barrel installed on the paintball gun. The mantlet is not yet permanently fixed in place. It will be soon. It's not a big deal. I have to like, I don't know what I have to sleeve the paintball barrel behind this one, because when they sent you the original kit, they provided this piece of aluminum tube, and this was supposed to be mounted in the mantlet flush with the front, and then the barrel had a recessed like nipple on there that would plug into this. So this was so you could remove the barrel for transportation. Well, since we did away with the entire stock system, we kind of had to wing it. So that's not a problem. We'll get it all fixed up. And when she's finished, She's gonna be pretty cool. Still got some things I gotta work out. I gotta move up the servo back further, because it turns out that the servo will touch the right side motor if I leave it where it is, but that's no big deal. I can move it back an inch to the very end of the paintball gun, increase the length of the rod for elevation, and I'll be all set. And then I just affix the mantlet. And this is about all the traverse I'm really expecting. As Herman said, the real tank had only 5 degrees left and like 11 degrees right. So I've got that already, you know, and I will set the endpoints on my servos to make sure that it mimics the real tank, that it'll have 5 degrees to the left and 11 degrees to the right. And on the paintball, I sleeved it over the paintball barrel, okay? So where it comes out of the paintball barrel, that's a .500 inside diameter. I made the inside of this barrel .562, so that's 9/16. So there's a 1/16 difference between where the paintballs come out and the diameter inside the barrel. And I'm really hoping that they come out of that barrel shooting straight enough that they'll make it to the end of this one without touching the sides. If they do, it might be a problem, I don't know. I'll just have to wait until I get a chance to test it and see if it breaks paintballs. If they break in the barrel, I'm kind of hosed. But if I don't get that if I don't get that fitting problem sorted out, I'm kind of hosed anyway, because the CO2 gun doesn't really do me any good at all without CO2. And I should have said the paintball gun doesn't do me any good at all without the CO2. So we'll keep at it and we'll see if we can get it figured out. And we'll see you next time.